thinking perhaps it's because Chapman University wants to extend its property, so that whole neighborhood is being condemned, and the first step in that is to blame it on the kids and the gangs in that neighborhood. I'd like to say that perhaps every neighborhood has some kind of a gang or group of kids that hang out together, and sometimes the kids get in trouble, but certainly not all the kids get in trouble. And in Orange, there's been a big problem where there's a blanket accusation of the youth in this one certain neighborhood that are being accused of being criminals without any evidence. And then the the Orange City Gang Enforcement, in conjunction with the district attorney, nominates kids to be criminals, and they give them a card. When they have the card, then it's a subpoena to go to court, and you're on parole for the rest of your life if the judge finds you guilty of being a gang member. Now, recently, 105, I think it was 105 or maybe 95 kids went to court who were accused of being gang members in Orange County. The ACLU represented 5 of these kids, and the judge said, "Where's the evidence?" There was no evidence, and the judge threw out our 5 defendants and the other 90 or 100 kids that were under this gang injunction. We were celebrating victory, and a week later, 4:30 in the morning, the SWAT team goes out and delivers new subpoenas to the same kids that were excused by the judge. Now they're not temporary gang injunctions, they're permanent gang injunctions. So that's what and the ACLU is defending 5 of the kids. There are a couple of kids on these injunctions who have criminal backgrounds, and you could consider them negative gang members, but the vast majority of the kids are just innocent kids. One girl got a gang injunction served upon her because she tried to cross the vacant lot on her way home from school, and that was trespassing. And that's how strict the police are in Orange. And I don't want to take any thunder. I think I'll introduce Yvonne, who is a counselor, and she's defending these kids, and she brought the case to the ACLU, and now the ACLU is defending a lot of them, and they have excellent legal representation. So without any more ado, I'd like to represent or present.
I need lawyers too.
I can represent her. Yvonne Elizondo.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me here. I've been wanting to come for a long time. Christine's a good friend of mine as well. You gotta come. So, and I've been wanting because this is a great opportunity for me to come. I also brought my daughter because just recently she was stepped with that card. So my kids are now considered gang members by Orange PD, and I'll explain that now. But, that comes with the territory, I guess, when you try to fight something. Just a little bit about me. I am a counselor. I work with at-risk youth. I have been working with the kids in that neighborhood. I grew up in that neighborhood. I'm actually originally from Santa Ana. My family's from Santa Ana. I'm a 3rd or 4th generation from Santa Ana. But then, we're teenagers, and my parents decided to move out of Santa Ana to Orange. And, well, we went from a fire pit to, I don't know what the heck it was. I think we got into more trouble, I think, as kids. But we grew up in that neighborhood as well. So I grew up in my teenage years in Orange. So I know that community very, very well, and I knew a lot of the people. Then, in the early 80s, mid-80s, I started doing volunteer work at the Friendly Center. So that's how I got involved, I guess, in this business, really. I didn't think of doing this as a career, because I liked money, and I wanted to be a business major or something, and that's what I thought I was going to do, but it didn't end up that way. So I've actually been a counselor for over a long time, over 25 years, I think, about 25 years I've been doing this now, working working with these kids. And my specialty is preventing them from going into gangs and drug and alcohol abuse, of course, domestic violence, parenting classes, and all that other good stuff. So on February 23rd of this year, I went to my office, and there was this kid who always comes to my office faithfully, but he was really upset, and he was there early in the morning at 7:30 in the morning, and he was upset. I said, Manny, what's wrong? Look at this. And he had a bag, and he threw it at me. This bag, it was the documents that they were served. And I swear to you not, we measured it because it took, you know, when you buy your paper to put in the copy machine, it was more than 2 of those. So about 700 pages, because, you know, you figure, you know, wow, it was crazy. I said, well, what is it? You know, I don't understand it, and what does this mean? So I said, well, gee, I don't know. And then there goes my phone. So the other kids now are calling me, the parents are calling me, so we had to figure out something. I said, well, I got to read what it said. I don't know what it says. You guys are being paid. That's basically what it meant. One of the things that we decided to do, and I belong to another organization called Hispanic, and we help people with these type of issues. And what I decided to do was to get the community at large, and I'm a really good delegator. You know, I could bring you together, but you know, I am not going to take all the responsibility, right? You need to delegate. So that's what I started doing. We started to delegate. Okay, this is what's happening. I knew a little bit about gang injunctions only because I had just read an article that the Orange County Register had done on San Juan Capistrano. I have an office in San Juan Capistrano too. And the article that they did it on happened to be my client. So, you know, I told my clients, why didn't you guys tell me what was going on? Well, we didn't know what it was. The thing is that these things are real tricky. And what they do, and we know this for a fact because they have said it time after time, if they can sue them, sue the people, they know that they don't have to be represented by a lawyer. And most people are too poor to afford a lawyer. So this is how they get away with it. And what they did, in some of the packages, not everybody's packages, but there was a temporary, they had a certain date that they had to file papers, or else they were gonna put a temporary restraining order on them, you know, this injunction on them. Well, a lot of people didn't even know what that was. This is the problem. We did find out in San Juan Capistrano, and they served half that amount of people. We know that it cost over $650,000 just to file the gang injunction. The city of Orange filed it on 115 people. We're trying to get figures. I would like to know how much that's costing us. I thought we were in a crisis. So here we go. Okay, this is a lot of money, you guys. I don't even know what they're doing. So we went to self-help centers. So I had parents, I assigned parents. I said, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this. So I started writing, you know, anybody that would hear our case. I wrote to the ACLU, you know, I wrote anybody that would hear, all lawyers that I could think of. I called the public defender's office. Can you guys help me out? You know, I know a couple of people there. This is what's going on. Well, Yvonne, do this, and then we met. I'm also a member of the American Legion. Thank goodness, because they allowed us to they opened their door to us, and they said, Yvonne, bring them in, bring them in. We had typewriters there, we had pens, papers, and we just started filing papers. One of the things we found out, too, is that there was already 6 imposed injunctions here already in Orange County, and it was the same judge. Well, then we find out that this judge is real buddies with Tony Rakakis. They're golfing buddies. And I said, oh, we ain't got a chance. We got to get rid of the judge. They're not going to have a chance. We found out we can't get rid of the judge. And I said, that I knew. I knew how to do that. So they went ahead, they filed the paperwork to get rid of the judge, and that was our first victory, was to get rid of that judge, and we did. Judge McKenna was our new judge, and he was a no-nonsense type of judge, which was a good thing, you know, and I think he was kind of fair, you know, yeah, maybe,